Welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovations. I'm Tim Scallon, registered dietitian, and many of you remember earlier in the summer when Miss Claudine Jones joined us in the Polk Center kitchen, and you made some wonderful summer salads for us. Well, Claudine has invited us to your kitchen here at Nacogdoches County Extension Service. Thank you for inviting us over, and welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovations.
Thank you, Tim. I'm glad you're here. We want to welcome you to Nacogdoches County. So we want you to feel comfortable here and just feel free to tape anytime you want to.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, Claudine. Well, you know, we got tons of good feedback on your summer salad recipes.
Well, good. Well, Tim, you know I love food.
Yeah.
I think you know that about me by now.
Yes.
Okay. So today I am thinking about our parents. Our parents are going through back to school time, so they're shopping for school supplies.
So you're not thinking about our parents,
no,
you're thinking about all those parents out there.
Exactly, my 4-H parents.
I started thinking about my parents.
All those parents that are scurrying around right now,
yes,
buying school supplies, buying clothes and everything else. Their time, Tim, is it's very precious to them. And so I thought about that with some of these recipes, and I thought, you know, I want to give them something that they can come home to. It's very easy to prepare, it doesn't take a lot of time, and it's nutritious. Plus, the kids can even get involved.
Well, what do you have up your sleeve?
I'm glad you asked. Today, what I'm going to be cooking is a roast beef panini on rye with provolone.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yes, and then I'm going to do a fresh vegetable panini with pesto sauce.
Ooh,
fresh
with pesto?
Pesto,
Ooh,
yes.
made from scratch.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Let's do. So, Tim, we're going to go ahead and get started putting together a panini. Okay. I know you're excited. I see the look on your face.
I am.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lightly brush the sides of our rye bread.
Okay.
Okay, with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Now,
very Italian.
Notice I didn't say butter.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
You're doing good there.
Exactly.
So it's a heart healthy. And you know, just so our viewers know, paninis are an Italian sandwich that are real popular these days.
Exactly.
And the word panini literally translates into little roll or little bread.
Oh, okay.
So in Italy,
food fact there.
Yeah, so in Italy, a panini is a sandwich on a small roll. Is what it is.
Very good.
Now, you know, Americans, especially in Texas, we make things bigger and better.
Right. I like Texas style paninis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, the one thing I like about paninis, Tim, is that it's just so versatile.
Yeah.
You know, today we're doing roast beef and provolone.
Yeah.
So you can very easily take this roast beef and do turkey.
Okay.
You can do sliced chicken if you want to do chicken.
Yes.
I'm a turkey fanatic, so I just love turkey paninis. That's what I make at home. So,
but every now and then, roast beef is a good one. The kids like roast beef.
Exactly. Kids love roast beef or ham if you want to do ham, but watch the sodium.
Well,
I'm sure you were going to tell me that.
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because when I was doing the analysis on this recipe, this recipe is a little high in sodium. It comes in a little over 600 milligrams, which is high. But if I were to ask you, where is the sodium in this sandwich, where would you say?
I'd say the cheese.
Well, and you're right, because anytime we're looking for sodium, that's the first place you look. It's a salty food. And so you notice that when I did the analysis, I reduced the cheese to half.
I did. You reduced my cheese, Tim. I was devastated.
So that's one tip that you can do. If you're not worried about sodium, you can use a full slice of cheese. Otherwise, you can use half a slice. And but you know, there was a surprise in this analysis, and the surprise is that the other high sodium ingredient is the rye bread.
Oh, okay.
Now, we wouldn't normally think of that.
No, and not at all.
And so, if like you were saying, this is a versatile recipe.
Right.
If you're watching your sodium, use a wheat bread instead of a rye.
Exactly. You can always cut back calories, sodium, anything by just changing up your bread. And again, it's just so versatile. You can do anything with paninis that you want.
Yeah.
And so, Tim, what I've done was I brushed both sides because I've got, if you can see here, 2 paninis. Yeah. One for you, one for me.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and we're going to do that, you know, with the extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to put that, you know, side down.
That side down, okay.
All right, and I'm going to put my brush down so I don't get it all over. Then I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. And I'm going to first start with my roast beef. Now, it depends on how much roast beef and how you like it. I like thin sliced meat.
I do too.
I like thin sliced vegetables. Everything I like is thin sliced.
Okay.
Now, with the roast beef, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a couple of slices on both sides. so that I can get a nice meaty mixture, because you want a good amount of protein there. You know, it's important for us all to increase our protein just a little bit. And then I'm going to add the cheese, and although I did not diagonal slice it, I'm going to do very simple. Thank you. I'm going to very simply do this right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to take one piece of provolone cheese, and I'm going to do it just like this, Tim.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
So then you can start adding your tomatoes and your red onions. Now I have the red onions with the lid on them because, you know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of red onions.
And I love onions.
So that'll be on your panini, okay? Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put our tomatoes.
Good.
Yes, 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 yes. And again, I like thinly sliced tomatoes. So.
You know, you were talking about versatile. Some people might have used a different cheese on this. Provolone is one that goes very good. You got some classic flavors here. That provolone goes well with beef. You're combining tomato and onion and black pepper. I mean, this is a classic combination of flavors.
It really is.
But what cheese might you use if you didn't want a provolone?
If I didn't want to use provolone, what I would use is gorgonzola cheese.
Gorgonzola?
Yes, I love gorgonzola cheese, Tim.
Did you know that gorgonzola cheese, gorgonzola is where my son-in-law Cesare is from. It's a little town outside of Milan, Italy.
Oh, wow.
And that's where that cheese comes from.
So that's another food fact for the day, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your onion on there.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And depends on how much you like onion.
I like
Tim,
a lot
how
of
much
onion.
do you like a lot of onion?
I like a lot of onion. Yeah.
Okay.
You put that whole
It's a
thing
good,
on there if you wanted to.
Really?
You just couldn't get too close to me afterwards.
Exactly. We'll eat whenever we're through filming, okay?
Right.
Is that a deal?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And so we're going to add all of that nice onion.
Okay.
Exactly. So our last step here, Tim, is what we're going to do is we're going to combine, because we want a nice little flavorful condiment with this. And so we're going to measure 2 tablespoons of classic mayonnaise and 2 tablespoons of horseradish to give a nice little zing.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball it, if you will.
Yeah.
I think I can eyeball about 2 tablespoons there. And that's probably good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And then my horseradish. So if you like me, I kind of like a little bit more horseradish. So
yes.
Okay, good, Tim. Very good.
It's like you said, it's that zip.
Exactly. It's that zip. And so what we're going to do is we're going to mix that up real good. And I'm going to use my knife here because
I'm getting really hungry.
Yes, and it smells delicious, doesn't it? All right. And so I'm going to do a little dollop there.
Yep.
And I forgot my spoon, so I'm just going to use this.
You're doing just fine. That looks great.
Good. And you know, you can change this up. If you know, another way to cut back on calories, Tim, don't use this. Use mustard.
Use mustard.
Or mustard.
There you go. That's right.
I like roast beef and mustard.
Mustard goes very good with beef. You bet.
Exactly, it does.
And mustard is, whereas mayonnaise is a fat base, mustard is a water base. So you could save 100, potentially 200 calories on this sandwich. Yes.
Wow. I think I'm going to have mustard from now on.
Yeah.
All right. And so I'm going to use my little brush here, and I'm going to
these look good.
Smear that all around. Now, I'm going to take a little bit from yours and add to mine.
Okay.
But yes, now these paninis, like I said, they're very simple, very easy, very nutritious, and you can change this up. And your kids can help you in the kitchen.
Oh, there you go.
So
That's
why
a good
does
idea.
mom have to do all of this
and
dishes and have the kids
right.
in there making these?
Okay.
Okay. So
all right, you want just a pinch of this pepper on here?
Thank you, I sure do.
I'm just
a pinch on mine.
Is that enough?
And then you add yours.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, there you go.
Your eyes are better than mine.
You want a pinch of salt? Okay.
Yes,
you mind my fingers?
I don't mind your fingers at all. No.
Okay, now I'm watching my sodium, so I'm not going to put a pinch of salt on mine.
Very good. Now, you should not have done that to mine then. Okay. So now, Tim, I think these are ready for the grill.
Ooh. So when we're talking about paninis as being ready for the grill, what we're really saying is that not so much for the outside grill, but like for a flat grill, a griddle top, you might say.
Exactly.
And because a panini is a toasted sandwich.
Right.
In fact, they make panini makers. My dog Spot, one year for Christmas, gave me this very handy panini maker. You know, it heats on both sides, so you just put the panini in and toast it.
Smart dog.
He was, wasn't he? He was thinking ahead, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Well, and so if you didn't have a panini maker, what would you use to make a panini with?
Well, Tim, I like to use my George Foreman grill.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly.
That's
it's easy to cook anything off of, not just for chicken breast, draining fat off of chicken breast.
Yeah, makes paninis. Okay,
exactly.
Okay. All right, so you're going to make a pesto.
Right, I'm going to make a fresh pesto sauce.
Okay.
And so I've got a little bullet blender that I use just because it's small, and you know, certainly if you've got a food processor at home and you want to use a food processor, of course, yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by adding some fresh basil. And Tim, I love fresh basil.
You know, I'm still getting basil in my herb garden.
Are you really?
Even through all the hot of summer.
Oh, well, that sounds fantastic.
Had to keep it watered.
Well, I'm very jealous.
Well, basil, you'd be surprised, but it smells so good. Yes. Basil is actually pretty hardy. As long as you keep it watered, it likes the sun, in fact.
Well, I'm glad you told me that. But I am going to add a little bit of salt to it, though, too.
Okay.
So don't shoot me on that.
I'm not going to.
Okay, good. A little bit of black pepper. You know, and again, that's all to taste. And that's totally up to our listeners, however much that they want to use those. And then, of course, some fresh garlic. What's pesto without a lot of garlic?
You have to have garlic in pesto.
Exactly. You really do.
And you know, all these ingredients, okay, so you got Parmesan.
Parmesan cheese.
This is a classic pesto.
Or you could use gorgonzola.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be classic. This is This is classic pesto. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm making a little bit of mess here, but we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. And then we're going to add some fresh roasted pine nuts that I roasted earlier. Now, one thing with pine nuts that our viewers need to be aware of, these roast real fast.
You got to keep an eye on.
You do. And I'll tell you, the first time I burnt the pine nuts, and I had to go back to the store, so it's not really fun.
No, in fact, what I always tell people, we've talked about this on a past show, that if you don't keep stirring them and watching them, they'll just like in no time, they'll go from perfect to burn.
Exactly. It smells like you have been popping popcorn.
You want to put some oil in there?
I sure do. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Yes.
You want that extra virgin olive oil?
You do want that extra
it's
virgin
a classic
olive
ingredient.
Oil in there. Yes.
And it'll make this blend better too.
Exactly. Of course. Yeah, I would be missing that shortly.
You know, all these ingredients are healthy. You've got every one of these ingredients are healthy ingredients. So this is a sauce that is actually it's a healthy sauce.
Exactly.
You know, we think of sauces and gravies as being high calorie, high fat, bad. But this is a good one.
It is a good one. It is a good one. And if you wanted to go not classic and you wanted to change the basil and you could add some spinach, you could really hide some nice vitamins and minerals from your children.
There you go. That's a good
idea.
That's a good idea. Yes. Yeah. Great way to get some vegetables in for those kids.
Exactly. And they never know it.
They would never know it.
You'll be a sneaky mom.
Yeah.
So we're going to put this on the food processor, Tim, and we're going to pulse it just a little bit.
Okay.
And
then what happens?
Then it comes out looking like this. Nice, fresh pesto. It's beautiful in color. You can smell the garlic. Can you smell that?
It smells wonderful.
Yes, exactly. So now, Tim, we're ready to saute our vegetables.
I'm getting hungry.
Me too. Okay, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my squash.
Okay.
So that we can get all of our vegetables in our skillet over there and get them sauteed.
So what all are the vegetables that you're going to do for this panini?
Well, what I'm going to use with this panini, it's our summer fresh panini, and so we've got some fresh eggplant, squash, onions that I still have the lid on because, you know, I'm not an onion fan, but I'm going to go through it because you love them.
You know I like onions.
I know you love it, and we're going to go with it. And then we've got some tomatoes, and then we've got some nice garlic and some extra virgin olive oil. Salt and pepper. And that's it.
Well, you know, some might question whether or not a sandwich is a healthy food. And the answer is, well, yes, depending on what it's made out of. For example, anytime we bring foods together from different groups, we create a balanced meal. So, Claudine, what food groups are represented in a sandwich?
Okay, so the first one would be the pesto sauce.
Okay, so what food group is that?
That one's going to represent the fat group.
That's right. That's a fat or a sauce.
My favorite.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's very flavorful.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then also on this sandwich, we've got breads. That's a grain group.
Exactly.
And we've got vegetables. So there's vegetable, fat, grain. And on a typical sandwich, you might have meat or you might have cheese.
Right.
So these are all examples of what could go on a sandwich. And if you're using fresh ingredients like this, and good breads, then sandwiches are a very healthy thing to make.
It is healthy and fast, Tim. And so that's the theme of our show today is fast, easy, nutritious paninis.
Okay, you ready to saute?
I am.
I'm going to bring this your way.
You are thinking ahead of me. Thank you, Tim.
Okay.
Be real careful. Don't burn yourself. Very good.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by adding, we've got some extra virgin olive oil in there, thank you. And then we're going to add our onions because we want our onions to cook first, Tim.
Okay.
And again, let's make sure that that's not going to, there we go.
Just right.
Exactly. Now, I love the smell of onions, but again, I'm not a
You're just not an onion eater.
No, I'm not. I'm not
I like onions on everything. Not ice cream, but almost everything.
Well, you know, I like ice cream, so. So we're going to let that sweat just a little bit, Tim.
I'm going to put this back over on this grill, on this side that's hot.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate that just a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, you know, this panini is how you like it. So if you like your vegetables to be to have more texture and to be not so soft, then cook them according to however you like it. But I like all of my vegetables very soft.
Okay.
So I sizzle mine, I saute mine just a little bit longer than most people.
I'm going to turn this up for you just a little bit.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to let that cook just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, these onions are ready, so let's get the rest of these vegetables in.
Okay.
All right. Add some squash.
Yeah. Ooh, these are pretty.
Yes, they are. They are beautiful. Gonna reach over here and add some eggplant.
Yeah.
Yes, because again, I made 2 paninis earlier, 2 paninis this evening. So we're both eating 2 paninis.
Okay, all right.
So I've added squash and eggplant. Then I'm gonna add
a little bit of garlic.
Garlic. You know I like garlic, so we gotta have garlic to everything.
This is in the spirit of this dish. You know, paninis are an Italian dish, and you know, garlic goes with Italian food.
Right.
Okay.
It does. And then we're gonna add some tomatoes and some salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then, Tim.
Okay. Ooh, this is really looking good.
Yes, yes.
You know, this is not unlike a ratatouille. You know, you put these same ingredients together for a ratatouille, which is basically a vegetable stew from southern France.
Yes, and that could be our next show.
Well, it might could. It might could. And then you steam them all together. So it's almost like you're making a ratatouille on toast.
Exactly.
You know what's interesting about that? When you make a ratatouille, which we're not making today, but we're using the same ingredients. When you make a ratatouille, whatever you have left over the next day, it's great on toast for breakfast.
Oh, wow.
It's basically what we're doing.
Okay, Tim, these are ready to begin putting together. Now,
smells wonderful.
We have our wonderful sauteed vegetables, and see, this is exactly how I like them.
Okay.
Very soft.
Okay.
So what we're going to do first is we're going to spread both sides of our bread with our fresh pesto sauce.
Okay.
And I have to tell you where I got this bread from.
Okay, tell me.
There's a wonderful lady named Lynn Jones at Texas Farms.
Okay.
And she makes the best bread in the entire world. And this is my favorite. It is her jalapeno cheese bread.
And so you find Lynn at the Nacogdoches Farmers Market?
Exactly, the Nacogdoches Farmers Market.
Okay.
Most Saturdays. And she runs out of bread very fast, so you got to get down
early.
there. Get there early, or call ahead of time.
Okay.
So, let's add our vegetables.
Yeah.
Oops, my little tomato went crazy there. Oh, those smell so good,
This
don't
looks
you think?
wonderful. I'm getting very hungry.
Yes, and I love squash in anything.
Yeah.
So whether it's a panini sandwich or not, to me squash is just, it's good and it's healthy for you. Okay, so see how fast that is, Tim?
I see why you wanted to do this recipe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ah, that looks beautiful. And Tim, this is such an easy recipe. And what you can do is, let's see, it's done, ready for the grill. But you can put this in the refrigerator, Tim.
Okay.
So if you're coming home and you're pressed for time, you can assemble it, then take your children to baseball practice, come back and put them on the grill. And that thing is ready to grill.
I love it.
Yes.
You often hear healthy guidelines recommend whole grains. Because of the myriad of marketing labels used on food packaging, such as multigrain, cracked wheat, whole wheat, it's not surprising that consumers are confused about this basic food. The FDA defines whole grains as the intact and unrefined grain whose principal components, the endosperm, germ, and bran, are present in the same relative proportions as they exist in the intact grain. This definition applies to all grains, not just wheat. You can identify whole grain products by the label 100% whole grain. This means that the bread is made from flour that contains all the original parts of the grain. Another way to identify good bread is to note the number of grams of fiber listed on the nutrition label. A slice of white bread may have 1 gram of fiber, while a slice of whole grain bread will have 3 grams. Well, that doesn't sound like a big difference, but think of it this way. You're getting triple the fiber. A sandwich of whole grain bread will provide 6 grams of fiber in the meal. A serving of fruit or vegetable will provide 1 or 2 grams. A healthy diet includes 30 to 35 grams a day. So that whole grain bread or cereal every day becomes a very important part of healthy eating. The nutritional disparity between whole and refined grains is much more than just the fiber. When wheat is refined into white flour, the bran and part of the grain called the germ are removed, and many vitamins and minerals are lost. Refining removes 92% of the vitamin E, 84% of the magnesium, 73% of the zinc, 71% of the potassium, and the list goes on. In fact, 18 essential nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and protein, are reduced by levels ranging from 41% to 92%, just by refining whole wheat into white flour. Now, 5 of those nutrients, 4 vitamins and the mineral iron, are added back to the refined flour through the process of enrichment. So we took out 18 nutrients and put back 5 of them so that we could make a pretty white flour. What's wrong with this picture? The bottom line is that refined grains and any foods made with white flour are not the whole package and are just not as nutritious as whole grains. The current dietary guidelines for Americans recommend that at least half of our grains be whole grains. This allows room for some refined grains such as pasta, crackers, or an occasional cookie. A healthy dietary pattern includes 6 servings from the grain group each day. A serving is defined as 1 slice of bread, 1 cup of cereal, or ½ cup of cooked rice or pasta. Consumers should also look to see that grains such as wheat, rice, oats, or corn are listed in the ingredients as whole. So does this mean I can eat a healthy sandwich? Well, you bet. Eating good bread is part of a healthy eating pattern. Start with 100% whole grain bread, choose lean meat, go easy on the mayo, and load on the veggies. Oh, and did I say pass on the fries and soda?
Well, Tim, we have the paninis ready.
And you made these in minutes.
Yes, all we need now are some kids.
I know a big kid.
I think I'm looking at him.
Today we've learned that paninis are an Italian grilled sandwich that are delicious and healthy. And we've learned that choosing a good bread is part of a healthy meal pattern.
Right.
And you know, we've also talked about some simple recipes for families on the go. I'd like to thank Miss Claudine Jones for inviting us into your kitchen today.
Well, thank you for coming. It's an honor as always.
Well, and also, and I just love working with you, Claudine.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
And also, I want to thank all of you for joining us here on Memorial Cooking Innovations, because together we are changing the world one bite at a time. Where'd all these kids come from?
Well, Tim, you said paninis.
Memorial Cooking Innovations is made possible through the generous efforts of CHI St. Luke's Memorial, the Polk Education Center, Sodexo Food Service, and the City of Lufkin, KLTX Channel 15.